In today's video I'll be showing you how I turn a block of smoked tofu into tasty tacos. This recipe is perfect for anyone new to eating and experimenting with tofu. It's full of flavour, high in protein and low in FODMAPs. Let's get cooking. I'm using one of my favourite brands of tofu from the Taifun range. I love this tofu for its extra firm but crumbly texture, minimal water content and deep smoky flavour. When you're shopping for smoked tofu on a low FODMAP diet, be sure to double check the ingredients for garlic and onion flavourings. I've got a dedicated video to choosing, shopping and prepping tofu that I'll link to below. For this recipe I prefer to crumble the tofu by hand into little chunks. You can see here that this brand of tofu has a lovely, meaty, almost mince-like texture once it's crumbled that you can really get your teeth into. This is what makes this a great recipe to serve to non-vegans and anyone that doesn't typically enjoy the texture of tofu. Unfortunately, this isn't the most affordable tofu available, so I balance the cost by boosting the protein and bulking out the meal with canned butter beans. I choose butter beans rather than any other to go with the tofu as they contain different types of FODMAPs, which helps reduce the chances of FODMAP stacking. To a non-stick pan, add 1 tablespoon of garlic infused oil. Sprinkle in 1 teaspoon of asafoetida and add a large carrot that's been finely grated. Add in the crumbled smoked tofu. This block is 200 grams. Sprinkle in 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin and a 1/4 teaspoon of chilli powder. Give all that a good stir and fry on medium heat for 3 minutes before adding in the juice of half a small lime, approximately 1 tablespoon. Add 200 grams or 1 cup of canned tomatoes. I use cherry tomatoes but plum tomatoes work too. Now you can stir in 70 grams or half a cup of canned butter beans rinsed and drained. Once the tomatoes and beans are in, add 1 teaspoon of dried oregano and freshly ground black pepper and salt to taste. Allow this to bubble away gently for 10 to 15 minutes until the carrots are softened to your liking. I like to crush half of the cherry tomatoes into the sauce to make the whole thing a bit more juicy. You can skip this part if you prefer the tomatoes whole, which admittedly does look nicer, or crush and blend all the tomatoes into a pulp if you prefer a smoother sauce. Whilst the sauce simmers, prepare the sour cream style dressing. To 250 grams or 1 cup of coconut yogurt, add 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, half a teaspoon of black salt and 1 tablespoon of lime juice. Give that a good stir together and the main camera stopped recording, so here's some overhead slow-mo footage from my phone. You're welcome. Stir until the powders have dissolved and set aside whilst we fill the taco shells. And my top secret hack for standing and stuffing taco shells with less mess is to use the underside of a muffin tin to prop up the shells. Add any greens you like to the base. I use romaine lettuce but rocket would be nice too. Carefully fill your taco shells with the tofu mixture. 2 regular corn taco shells are a low FODMAP portion. This recipe serves 2 and I pop any extra filling in lettuce cups on the side. Drizzle over the yoghurt dressing. This is my vegan, low FODMAP alternative to sour cream. It's FODMAP free, so use generously and it'll keep for a few days in the fridge. Once you're happy with your cream to taco ratio, it's time to pimp up your toppings. I like to use the green tips of spring onion, finely shredded fresh herbs such as basil, parsley or mint, but never coriander, and some dried chilli flakes. If I'm going all out, then I'll top it with some shredded vegan cheese. I use a small amount of coconut-based cheese, grated on the finest blade so that a little goes a long way. And to make a meal of it, I serve mine with boiled rice, garnished with more fresh herbs and a low FODMAP portion of avocado on the side. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe and let me know if you give it a try. Check out my dedicated tofu playlist for more delicious things that you can do with tofu. As always, I appreciate all of your likes, comments and shares, and I'll see you soon. Bye!